I was rolling on your video game analogy of loving a woman,
Oh,
losing power. And don't get me wrong, it was deep. It was deep. And I was like, I wonder if Afi minds if I challenge him a little bit on that.
good.
Like if I go ahead and just be like, like it makes sense. But it's like Afi probably already knows this. But I was like, I don't know when Afi did that content, did he pretty much try to kick his own ass? Like, what would be his own rebuttal? And I was like, I was waiting for you to drop something after like a follow up, and you didn't. And I'm like, okay, let me. And I was like, let me ask him about it when when all of us get together because I wanted all of us to talk about this too. I was even gonna call it afterwards too. Is Afi right? Being anti-love more powerful. I was really going to do it. I actually still might do it. So I wanted to talk about that. So let's talk about.
Do it,
Go ahead.
unpack the video, whatever.
All right.
You can do it. Show it to some ladies so they can get pissed off and trigger them.
Now, well, that you know me, it's all about sparking the discussion. It ain't about being right or wrong. But let's go ahead and discuss that. Let's talk about the encouragement. You know, you're right because when you do have feelings for somebody, you are taking time. You're taking moments out of your heart, especially if you get into a fight or whatever, and you're only fighting because you care for the person, right?
Right.
And yeah, it could be draining. But now let's go the other way. What about when you end up finding that person that now I won't say helps you level up, but encourages you? Bill and Melinda Gates. You know, Microsoft really wouldn't be where it was at if it wasn't for Melinda, right? We pretty much know that. Then, of course, you know, Hillary pretty much helped out Bill.
Right.
Michelle helped out Obama. Like, you write your book, I'll go ahead and pay for everything. I'll be the breadwinner. You just get your dusty ass over there and finish writing your damn book. You might be president one day.
That
So
would have
now you have.
been her 20 years ago.
I'm sorry, what?
That'd have been cool if I'd have met her like 20 years ago.
Yeah. So what do you say about the men out there that when they do get that woman, that fire is lit, and next thing you know, they making the impossible possible in their lives now. That's why a lot of cats say, "Hey, I owe it to my woman. I love my woman," and X Y Z. What do you say about that?
You know what? It helps certain cats when they get a bad shit. They want to satisfy them, so that sometimes that'll get dudes on their game because they know about the maintenance that's going to take to keep the woman. Like if they have a if they desire a certain type of chick and they get that, then that'll turn their game on. It's just like if you get a Lamborghini, you like, okay, I got to step my game up and get more income and get this because I got to maintenance this. So it's the same thing with the chick. So sometimes that will light a fire up under a cat. You know what I mean, and have him game tight. But on the flip side, um, to me, if you in a new situation going in, that'll work. But to me, it also gives a woman too much power, bro. Women because
Mm.
women will take credit for all the shit that you do. You know, like you see on the Grammys, I wouldn't have did it without her, like that kind of stuff.
It's because it's not like most dudes are just doing that on their own, and I think they're just doing that just to throw a little appreciation shot at their woman because really you was popping before this. Like Denzel, okay, because he been married the longest. But it's like but when we see Will do it, I know we gotta talk about that. When we see Will do it, it's like, bro, you was Fresh Prince before Jada. Like you were in Independence Day before Jada. Like what are you talking about? You wouldn't be where you are with you wouldn't be where you are without your damn agents, without the folks who were like, like same thing with Kevin Hart. He didn't like give a shout out to his ex wife back in the day for his success or what he don't give a shout out to his wife right now. But is it a certain type of man that's giving kudos to his woman about that fire?
I was waiting for you to finish because that's what it boils down to. It matters about your background and how you were raised. Like me, I was raised by a single mom. My father, he passed away from cancer though, so my situation isn't all hood or I ain't got no ghetto story about it. But
Right.
some men feel like being married, having a kid, buying a house, that equals success for them.
Yeah, the
So
American dream.
when they get that woman, that makes them feel complete. Then you got cats like me who've been single for a long time, so that kind of I don't that doesn't resonate with me. You know what I mean? I'm not to say that it's wrong, but just you know, some cats that's how they Like, if okay, boom. So if they have the money, the status, the car, the business, they literally don't feel complete until they find that woman. When
Mm.
you got a cat like me, I want to be complete before I find that woman.
So for somebody like yourself, what's the last item that's needed on your list for you to be like, well, besides being 50, okay, I'll find a woman now. I'll settle down. I'll grab one. Like, what do you have to do?
I don't know, man, because I don't have an exact timeline on it, but I want to move abroad, either to an Asian country like Thailand or somewhere like that, Bali, or um, Africa, maybe, depending on how I feel about Ghana, Tanzania, stuff like that. So I
Mm.
don't really feel like it's hard for me to say what I would do because I know when I go to one of those places, my whole life and perception gonna change, and I'm gonna be around a place where am the I'm the minority and I gotta adapt to other people and then I'm gonna get different responses from women because I'm in a place and everybody is something else and then there's me. So those dynamics I can't call it because I don't know. Like I remember seeing one of my boys went to Tanzania and he don't do content or nothing and they were chasing them around and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
I get a taste of that because I do have some little bit of social status, and then I might just want three wives. I don't know, like you know what I mean. But it's the day to day lifestyle that I have going to work, doing content, writing and stuff. It's gonna change over there. Then my money gonna be different because I'm bringing in money, but my money go longer way. So that might have me. I say I don't want a mansion now, but I might will be like, well, shit, I'm in Thailand. I can get a mansion for like 2,000 a month. I might be like, well, shit, let me. I want two maids, a wife, and a girl. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard to say, like, so because most people they're just happy where they are, and they're just going day to day. But I know that once I make it to one of these places, it's gonna show me different things, and I don't know how I'm gonna react to them because I've been over to these places and I get different reaction. But just actually living there, I don't know, man. Like it's
Mm.
a tough one. Like just like I say, just going over to Africa and stuff like that, and then just the way people treat you and the way that people look at you and stuff like that. I may not, or it could be even working bad. Some they might be acting so crazy about social status. It may have me looking at them like they fake, and then that can
Mm.
turn me off because sometimes like for instance, I remember I was dating a girl and she had a new Corvette and it was drop top. And so I would drop her off at work. And I remember three particular times I was just driving around and I would meet girls. And I would meet the girls and they would be like, "Oh, it's a drop top. I want to take a ride." And I remember it happened like three times, but it was three times of minimal effort. And I don't know, you can have a nice car, but there's something about a nice car and a fast car and it being a drop top. And the chicks would hop in, like, you get the number, they would hop in with me when I meet them. And then I have sex with them. And then it sounds player, but I would be kind of a little turned off, like, damn, that's all it take.
Mm.
That's all it take. Like it's kind of just even though I still, partake in it, I still was like, this was like shit, bro. Like that was the vibe. Like the fuck, bro, that's all it take. I take a ride in my car. Like, so just imagine if I had a car like this, how often I would do this. It takes that princess stuff off, just like rappers and stuff, right? So rappers deal with the same women we do, but the women that they deal with rappers will deal with the same women we do, but when they deal with them, they get a different version of that woman that we meet. I can meet a beautiful woman in Houston and she can be like, "Oh yeah, I like you, but woo, let's go out for dinner. I'm taking her out for dinner on Monday, Tuesday, and we going to take a walk somewhere, and I'm campaigning, trying to have sex with her, and maybe it'll take 4 dates. And even though she genuinely likes me, but then Drake fly out there and he get the whole service, and all he did was showed up, and he's just there. Oh, he's at the Ramada Inn, boom. So it's just like, damn, like you get a different side of you get different versions of women. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
the balancing and stuff like that, like those women be having boyfriends and stuff like that too. But when you are at that angle, you get a whole different version. So it's not. So it's a difference between me going there, doing the bouncing thing, meeting a girl, maybe after the show, and we vibe, talk to her on the phone, go on 1 or 2 dates, and have sex with her. It wouldn't happen like that. When I come in, they'd be like, "Ooh, when you taking your shirt off?" and grabbing my, you know what I mean? So it's just a different version.
No, see, and that's where Ron come in with the body game. The body game philosophy. Yeah, but to teach his own. We get that, but I have seen girls holler at the doorman, the bouncer in the club or whatever. Probably because, in like, let's stay with the status issue. You're an authoritative figure. You check people, and obviously, if you have this job, that means you must have some type of strength to put up with this, where you could go ahead and knock everybody out like that movie Roundhouse or whatever. So obviously, you can get physical. You're a protector, bro. So it's like, this could be a turn on to the girl. So probably that's why you probably had like that game and everything. It's kind of like when I remember one time I was pushing my son out in the stroller, and I got a couple of looks and the smiles during Target or whatever. I'm a parent, a good parent. Now I have the status of responsible. Now, if you got a whack ass baby daddy, this is like a turn on to you.
That's crazy too. Because when I used to, my niece was a baby, I would take her around, and I would get chicks just off of that. And I'd be thinking, even though that wasn't my kid, they didn't know that, and it's just weird. Like, if you see a grown man with a kid, the first thing you shouldn't. I'm just keeping it running. The first thing you shouldn't think is, oh, the baby's so cute. I like him. That's so precious. You should think, oh, he probably has a girlfriend. Don't work that way.
You've been getting on fellas with the looks, money, status thing. I saw you put up the little thumbnail of Johnny Depp going through his trial with Amber Heard. Yeah. Okay, this is what we've been seeing over and over again. That we just have a history in Hollywood with entertainers of them just having marital or just relationship problems seriously. Yeah. And now what stood out to me was when George Clooney got on, he admitted he got on and wanted to be successful because he wanted to holler. He wanted women to come holler at him. He wanted to be wanted. He wanted all the attention. And now, he got a beautiful wife or whatever, but he admits he wouldn't have his chick unless he had everything. So looks, money, and status. It's a dead horse. It is. But how come game is never attached to looks, money, and status? How come it's always just looks, money, status, but you can't have this game if you already got those three? Like there's no room.
I didn't realize so many people have so many issues with chicks until I start doing YouTube. I didn't know.
Me neither.
And a lot of these guys look like they put together. Like if you look at their Instagrams and stuff, like I only thought that like cats that were struggling were like fat ones or dusty ones or just socially awkward ones, bro. It would be cats with real life jobs, real life whips, and be in shape and everything, bro. Still struggling. I didn't know that at first because I only looked at life around my circle of friends, the people who I hung out with. So people who struggled, I can identify them because you see them. But it's like that's why I don't ever really campaign that high value thing. I always had an issue with that. Not to be a hater, but I always had an issue with like that. Like, bro, there's cats in jail that got 5 or 6 rotations, bro, and they getting all of it, and they ain't got no status. They can't even have sex with them,
right?
But yet they still having girls. So the whole you got to get your stuff together so they can like you. Like I never liked that, bro.
And that right there was where it comes full circle. The whole babe mentality. We come from the land of I know he ain't shit, but he'll still get it. Like I have never when folks just be like, talking about Pookie and Ray Ray, I really think they talking about us because we grew up around that. We grew up in an environment where cats was on a scraper, didn't have no job, had Nikes and Jordans all the time. But
and you get real life girls too, not just dusty. Yeah. Exactly. Let's throw that out there. Not just the dusty hood rat ones. It's certified nurses and CNAs was messing with cats without no JLB. Hello.
Yeah, like this is one of the few lands where women would actually trick off on a guy who ain't shit. And then you have the dudes who do have it all or high value, and they wonder what is it about him? Like he doesn't have anything. What is it about him? Like we've all were at a period where we didn't have anything, but we still had a pretty girl like us. Is it character, bro? Was it just our character? I mean, yeah, we could come off a bit entertaining out here. We can the way we the way we talk, the way we dance, because that's the first thing a lot of people talk about when they get out here in the Bay Area. It's about how we talk, right? They just love listening to us. We be saying they love the whole slanguage and all of that. Is it just because we're just just dialogue? Is dialogue just popping with us? Not to toot our own horns, y'all.
Female nature is a gift and a curse to me because it's just hard for me to take one serious because I know how easily they could be manipulated.
Right.
I've seen it with my own eyes for years and years and time again, and to be the main one saying, I ain't doing this and I would never do that is the ones that be doing this and that. There's always exceptions for everybody. So I wish I didn't know, and I wish I hadn't seen so many things to even jade me, but I have. I can't take back my life and my experiences, but it just had, just like I remember the first time I was dating the chick. Not the first time, but you know what I mean. Dating the chick, and we went through the baby daddy scenario, and I'm being a man thinking logically. I'm really believing what she's saying. Like, oh man, he broke and he ain't doing this. And I'm really like, dang man, he lost out on the good one. What's wrong with him?
Yeah.
Right. Then we break up. Then she went back with him, and it's just like, wait a minute, this is the same cat that I'm sitting here feeling her pain and stuff like, damn, man, how come he didn't recognize he was day one solid girl? And man, he was, he was tripping.
But you have never told anybody or even instructed anybody to like downplay themselves at all. Mm-hmm. So which means you being yourself actually pulls. So is Dusty baby daddy just being themselves, and is that just attractive? It's subjective. Yeah. Is that just something that we just have to deal with? Like, hey, maybe his dustiness is attractive.
I be telling the players, like, some cats be like, oh man, you feeling yourself, you arrogant, you too confident. You ain't confident and arrogant enough, bro, because somebody else's confidence ain't gonna make me rub me the wrong way, bro. Unless we have some one-on-one interaction and it affects whatever kind of interaction we have, but I'm not gonna just see a confident dude to be like, oh man, he think he all that. Like it don't affect me like that. So I be wondering like how my vibe affects other people. So it's like you missing something, bro. My confidence shouldn't affect how you feel. You should be able to relate to it, bro. And the thing is I'm a confident guy and stuff like that, but it don't have nothing to do with how I look. I mean, I do feel like I'm a handsome guy, but my confidence isn't built on how good I think I look and how good my game is, bro. It's because I'm a go-getter. I accomplish goals. I motivate people, put people on, all of that, bro. I'm a leader and a team player. I'm creative. I'm intelligent. That's why I think I'm all of that, bro. It don't have nothing to do with chicks.
I noticed that all the women that I've heard call a man handsome were all busy. They all had something going. Like I never seen a couch potato get called handsome. I mean, we're talking about handsome. We're not talking about cute. You just kind of notice that a dude, like you said, go-getter, hustle, just busy. You entrepreneur. Like look at these qualities. Like even when you're telling the truth, like I hit you back. I'm busy. I gotta cancel tonight because I gotta finish this. I'm busy. It makes you more handsome because it's like, oh, he legit, he has a goal. And how many women always talking about like they want somebody ambitious until they finally get one. It's like, damn, he's too damn busy. But let me go ahead and still stick around and at least start to support him and everything. But yeah, I did kind of notice like, yeah, you ain't never seen a lazy dude get called handsome. So now, minus character. So now we're talking. So now we're pretty much at the point where it's like, yeah, so handsome. One of the traits included, one of the attributes included in that word handsome is
productive.
Yeah, productive. And I just thought about that, like, yo, like I'd be like, okay, we all got YouTube channels, and yeah, a couple of people, in the comment section had called me handsome. So I was like, I wonder, or is it physical, or are you saying that because of what I'm talking about, or how well the quality of content is? Because it's like, okay, I like this dude, even though I be wilding out. When I have the other stuff, we be talking about crazy. I mean, it's like my platform is a lot. It's like a locker room platform. we like to talk about everything. I don't pander to anybody, even though I got called out for it. But just the quality content that we're giving, it's like, oh, so this is why you think I'm handsome. Not to my own horn, ladies, because I know y'all. But I'm just saying, ladies, y'all can put in the comments. It's a handsome quality just means because they ass is busy. Affy is handsome because he over here posting footage in Bali, Guatemala, Mexico, Cancun, Fiji. You always gone. And then you got the dogs, and the dogs is feeding.
I just got the dogs is a cheat sheet. That makes it so much easier. I wish I would have had these dogs when I was really in the game, like for reals. It would have saved me a lot of cold approaching time. I already got game, but the game is even better when they come to you first. The dogs introduce them to me. Like
is that considered? Hold up, is that considered an arrogant statement? I want to talk about that shit too. Cocky, arrogant, overconfident. And you even said to yourself, well, you just either you need to be confident more, or damn it, maybe you just need to be overconfident. Yeah. Why is that always a problem for black men if we just know when we're like good at something? It's being, like you say, pulling women. I know people be like, that's not something to be proud at.
I'm a good teacher too. You think that why would I not get confidence from that when I come up with ideas and concepts and effective strategies to get people to know what I know, and then I'm successful over and over again? You think that'll make me feel confident? Of course it does. I'd be an idiot if it didn't.